Hello, my fellow audience. I'm reviewing part 2 of Marvel, the final part of the Infinity Saga by Marvel Studios. Phase 3 of Marvel Studios. Part 2 of the Infinity Saga. I give each movie a breakdown in one video on this video. Let's start with the newest one, Far From Home. I give that a 1 point out of 10 just because how much it pissed me off because it reminded me so little of 616 Spider-Man or Ultimate Spider-Man from the comics. It pissed me off as much as, Maguire's first 2 Spider-Man outings. Sure, it had the web rings in live action for the first time, since Homecoming used them the first time. And so it had the expressive vibe again. But there's all this bunch of hogwash to try to get me to like the movie. And it doesn't work. The CGI specialized and the web wings don't not enough to like this mediocre schmuck of a crap movie. You know that dumb dog that you drinks out of toilet water when you tell your dog, don't drink out of toilet water? Well, that's what Marvel's Phase 2 is in a nutshell. Your dog drinking out of toilet water. But in that case, the dog is you, the audience, drinking toilet water script of slop. That's what Marvel Phase 2 of the Infinity Saga is, starting with Spider-Man Far From Home. I give it a 1 point out of 10. That's the one with Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. Talk about miscasting. He looks nothing like Mysterio. He's too handsome to be Mysterio. Mysterio, everyone knows in those 616 comics, was the ugly guy because he was written to be a failing actor. Because he wasn't handsome like a typical actor. So that was his motivation to become a villain in the comics. But yeah, let's change him to Quentin Beck, our reject of Tony Stark's employees. Let's not make him a failing actor like the comics tried to do. Let's try to go the opposite route and slap this character's name right on it. To sell you tickets. To give me, fuck you, give me money, you comic book faggots. Is what this movie's trying to tell me. But I refuse to drink this toilet water and call it quality of a flick. While other people choose to drink toilet water for movies, I refuse. I refuse! And that's why Avengers Endgame gets a 1 point out of 10. Wait, I was talking about Spider-Man Far From Home. I give that a 1 out of 10. Endgame's next. I give that a 1 out of 10. That's the one where these think that they're the best time travel heist movie in the whole world. And you like to took every time heist movie except for Days of Future Past. And like to say, your time travel movies are stupid and don't make any sense. My PP-'s bigger than your time travel PP. Is what it comes down to, the plot of this movie in a nutshell. As they shit on bad time travel movies that are older before they try to take a crack at it. Those Hollywood bastards. They are tasteless smucks that don't know good taste and don't realize that it's a fag. This movie, Avengers Endgame, is a fag. It's a phase. A phase came and gone where the hype didn't stay around. And let's be honest, Avengers Endgame kind of might have drove more people away than brought people together in hindsight. Because think about, that was the one time people talked about something they hated, even when they liked the movie. What drove them away was this movie. I can see why. It's 3 hours fucking long. And it feels it every minute. You feel those 3 hours lengths. After the time jump due to the 5 years in the future, after they decapitate Thanos in PG-13 fashion by Thor's Stormbreaker. Time jump, then we get the main time heist film. Pitched by Ant-Man, the time heist. As he came up with it, and while coming out of the quantum realm and being there for at least a decade or so. Longer. Like 5 years or so. But for him, it felt like 5 years. So he's going to get idea. Boom! Time travel, dummy, with quantum mechanics. I will say this works. And of course, Professor Hulk with the brains of Bruce Banner and Hulk can't put two to two how time travel works. But Tony Stark can, because he is Jesus Christ, Messiah of the plot MacGuffin of this film. I share you not, the guy that made the most dangerous AI in the universe of this canon timeline is now the Jesus figure Messiah. Humble brag. This movie loves Tony Stark so much. So much so, it's almost disgusting of how much this movie loves Tony Stark as the Messiah of Jesus, Messiah of Marvel. This was dumb. This movie was a bunch of big pile of dinosaur shit. And a combination of dried out toilet paper that's rough on your ass cheeks. This was that in a nutshell. Avengers Endgame was that bad. Is why I give it 1 point out of 10. Now I'm going to talk about Avengers Infinity War, the prequel to Endgame. That's where Thanos snaps his snappy fingers, his jaws hands, snaps his jaws hand, and everyone dies on planet Earth, half of all living life of the universe. The Avengers fail because they're a couple of cunts pussies. Wanna know why they fail? Because nice guys finish last. Because the Avengers have to be the nice guys. Always giving the villain the upper hand. Always fighting fair. Never fighting dirty. And that's why they lose to Thanos and his army. Because nice guys finish last. That's the moral of those. That's what the movie's saying. Because think about it, that's the only reason why Doctor Strange doesn't use the time stone. Even when he thinks that you're thinking he's going to go somewhere, and he's thinking he's going to use it, but never use it before getting snapped away. Whoops. So that's the moral of the story. Nice guys finish last. Don't you love these incompetent heroes? No, I'm surprised. Or yet maybe you do. I don't know. I think the point of the Avengers is that they suck at being the Avengers. And they're really bad at their job. That's why I give it a 1 point out of 10 points. Avengers Infinity War. Now, Black Panther is a 1 out of 10 because Black Panther is a nice pushover. He's like stairs. He let people walk over him because he has to be the nice guy. Fuck nice guys. That doesn't make an interesting or relatable hero. That just makes it boring and bland like a stale chip found under the carpet of your bed. and forgettable piece of shit. More than Dragon Ball Evolution, this movie is. 1 point out of 10. Black Panther sucks. Now I'm going to our Thor Ragnarok. 1 point out of 10. Thor 3. And Thor, for some reason now, is not only an idiot, but a delusional psychotic breakdown he has suffered, probably because of too many head injuries to his face over years in battle. So that's why he's talking to a skeleton in the opening credits. In the opening scene of the movie, first thing we see him in. He's talking to a skull, be bonding with a skull, like it's alive. Or his new friend. Wow. What a delusional psychotic hero. I think he should be stripped away of his lighting abilities, don't you? He shouldn't be worthy, he shouldn't be wearing the overmare, because seeing how unstable an idiot he's become. Probably getting hit in the head too many times in battles. Probably. He's probably become a little brain damage to mush. The mighty one, Thor, might have had a concussion of why he's being stupid and delusional personality, showing symptoms of dementia. This is a real case of that he needs to come into retirement, come into the life of retire as a hero. The character to retire. So, what the friggin' do? Hulk's back, and he's naked, and there's a erection joke about Hulk in this movie that Thor sees. He sees Hulk's big erect penis as it comes out of the water. Isn't that great? You realize that they put in all of their effort for this high quality, expensive film. With the writing and all of the donkey writing. Do-da-day. Tra-la-la. This movie was dumb. Valkyrie sucks, Hulk sucks, Ragnarok sucks. Everything about this movie sucks, all the characters suck. Sucks. Nonsense. Unless you like non-cool nonsense. Unless it's SpongeBob, I like non-cool nonsense. If it's SpongeBob, I like non-cool nonsense. But as if Marvel, I do not like non-cool nonsense. At least what they're trying to shove down the audience's throat is shit. I will not eat their runs. I refuse to participate in this human centipede force sequence for the audience, becoming victims of the human centipede by brainwashing the audience thinking this ain't good crap. That's why I give Thor 1 point out of 10 for 3. Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's Ant-Man sequel. Ant-Man there's a trans joke in the movie, a plot about Ant-Man being possessed by Jennifer and the original Wasp after the movie thought she was dead. But then we decided to retcon those heroic events into making her an all-powerful Jesus Messiah figure god in a form of a woman. She can do anything because she has what we call Jesus Messiah powers. That means she can even help people's mind and help them control their powers. Like this character called Ghost. Ooh, yes, that's kind of stupid. That doesn't explain the powers. It's not brought up again, the powers in the future installments. It just comes and goes like a silent fart in the elevator. The Jesus powers that Jan Van Damme died, the original Wasp has. Played by, you guessed it, Michelle Pfeiffer. And this movie gets a 1 out of 10. Ant-Man and the Wasp stinks like a rotten egg. The script is that bad. Captain America Civil War, I liked it, okay? But as much as I liked it, have you considered it's overhyped? Like, I would give it a 7 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10. Because let's face it, the color grading choices are just ugly against this movie. It's a crime against cinema. The color grading choices is all brown and light and dark settings and the midnight settings. Dark, when it's dark, it should be like nighttime, or did lit time, or daytime. They all look like they have a coated brown to them. Like the movie's embarrassed at its shit itself. It looks like that kind of brown. Like shit brown. This movie has a color grading of multiple browns, dedicated to the color of shit, inspired by the colors. This is a pretty fucking ugly looking movie. We know that. So that's why I give it a 7 point out of 10. On a visual media scale, it's ugly. It looks like shit. Looks like someone sprayed shit on the film and put that as the final product. It looks nasty of a movie. I feel disgusted talking about this movie. A little more than Human Centipede movies gave me. 83 of them, including the extended cut of the trilogy. Of all three I've seen. That's how nasty this movie is. Like a buttload of shit that's ready to squirt out of you. It looks like that color. This brown color grading contrast. But it's not the visual meaning what drives the movie goes, it's the story. And the story's better than forgettable. And that's what you gotta take away about this review. It's better than forgettable. The story is. And I like Doctor Strange 1 more than Captain America 3. That's why I'll talk about Doctor Strange 1 first. I give this a 7 point out of 10. It is mumbo jumbo gibberish, but visuals are much better this time, thanks to the color grading contracts being more gray related than brown related. It's not perfect, but when do I ever get what I want in cinema from Marvel? Well, everything I want. I can't get everything I want. That's good, right? So I'll take my pros where I can get them. That's why Avengers 3 knows Captain America 3 knows Captain America Civil War gets a 7 out of 10. Doctor Strange gets a 7 out of 10. And now let's talk about Guardians Volume 2. I give that a 7 points out of 10. It's better than the first one. Or worse, I'm not sure it's as good as the first one. So go ahead and see if you like this mediocre schmuck of a crappy movie. Played by mediocre, untalented hacks of actors. Except for Batista. I shit you not, I didn't know he could really have acting range as an actor before I saw him in the new movie came out this year to a Paramount streaming service exclusively called Aang the Avatar. It's called Avatar. It's called Aang Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think that's the name. But it's new Avatar movie came out to Paramount, and I was surprised that was Batista because he didn't disguise his voice. He just said his lines and delivered them with a heart and emotion as a character, rather than this your average brute which is what Drax is in the movies. Of the Guardians movies. Yes, I didn't know he could act, and I didn't know Star-Lord could act before he took on the role of the iconic Mario. I knew Bradley Cooper could act because I seen him in other movies like Silver Linings Playbook. He was good in that. And I knew Vin Diesel could act because I've seen him in the watched the movie The Iron Giant. He was good in that. And he was good in the Fast Furious movies and Riddick and Triple X. But I had no idea Chris Pratt and Batista could act. Before I saw them in that movie, for Batista, it was Nickelodeon's Avatar Last Airbender movie, animated flick. For Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, that plays Star-Lord, it was the Mario Brothers movie. What made me realize he can actually act. He's not some immature, obnoxious jackass. That's a untalented hack of an actor. He can actually act. Why doesn't he do this more often in the Marvel movies? Act. Why does Benedict Cumberbatch doesn't act instead of being an artist? Why does Benedict Cumberbatch took on the role of Doctor Strange if he wasn't going to give the best performance? Maybe it was because of the paycheck. They went to shine that big paycheck and said, yes, I'll be your Doctor Strange, alright? I'll fill this in like I... And then in the back of it, he's thinking how he's going to do a good job filling in the role and putting his acting career on autopilot on screen as he tries to not commit to the role as Benedict Cumberbatch Doctor Strange. That's not lazy. That's genius. Ha ha. So what the Asian ones is been gender swapped to a woman and race swapped to a white woman. It could happen to anybody in the Marvel. Oh, fair play more. Everything's a gamble. But yes, this is somehow better than the 70s Doctor Strange movie. Okay. If you say so, Marvel fanboys and girls, I don't think you're right. Because I think you've drinking the Kool-Aid too quick. Before sipping of the Kool-Aid of the hype train of this movie, Doctor Strange. Was a disappointing movie, but it was a 7 out of 10, the best in Phase 3. Phase 3, Marvel Infinity Saga Part 2 review on the Infinity Saga Part 2 by Marvel Studios. So that's my review on all the movies in the cinematic universe. I think that's all of them. If in that Doctor Strange with Captain America 3, then I give all of them a 1 out of 10. Doctor Strange and Captain America 3, I give a 7 out of 10 from Phase 3. If I skipped any, okay? Oh yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming I skipped. My bad. I knew I forgot one. Wasn't sure entirely until now. But yeah, that gets a 1.5 points out of 10. I would say more, but I think I have overworked my brain going on about everything in this video review. So, that's my review on Marvel's Infinity Saga Part 2 of the Infinity Saga. Goodbye, subscribe, like this video. Bye. Tralla, my audience.